All right. Exodus 7. So Moses in Exodus 6 was asking, why won't, like, he says he can't do it. He's thinking Pharaoh won't listen to him. Now we go to Aaron, where Aaron's staff becomes a serpent. Or we go to the Lord speaking to Moses. Then the Lord said to Moses, pay close attention to this, and I will make you seem like God to Pharaoh, and your brother Aaron will be your prophet. Tell Aaron everything I command you, and Aaron must command Pharaoh to let the people of Israel leave his country. But I will make Pharaoh's heart stubborn so I can multiply my miraculous signs and wonders in the land of Egypt. Even then, Pharaoh will refuse to listen to you, so I will bring down my fist on Egypt. Then I will rescue my forces, my people, the Israelites, from the land of Egypt with great acts of judgment. When I raise my powerful hand and bring out the Israelites, the Egyptians will know that I am the Lord. So Moses and Aaron did just as the Lord had commanded them. Moses was 80 years old, and Aaron was 83 when they made their demands to Pharaoh. Then the Lord said to Moses and Aaron, Pharaoh will demand, show me a miracle. When he does this, say to Aaron, take your staff and throw it down in front of Pharaoh, and it will become a serpent. So Moses and Aaron went to Pharaoh and did what the Lord had commanded them. Aaron threw down his staff before Pharaoh and his officials, and it became a serpent. Then Pharaoh called in his own wise men and sorcerers, and the Egyptian magicians did the same thing with their magic. They threw down their staffs, which also became serpents. But when Aaron's staff swallowed up their staffs, Pharaoh's heart, however, remained hard. Oh, they threw down their staffs, which also became servants, but then Aaron's staff swallowed up their staffs. Okay, yeah, that's pretty cool. Pharaoh's heart, however, remained hard, and he still refused to listen, just as the Lord had predicted. A plague of blood. Then the Lord said to Moses, Pharaoh's heart is stubborn, and he still refuses to let the people go. So go to Pharaoh in the morning if he goes down to the river. Stand on the bank of the Nile and meet him there. Be sure to take along the staff that turned into a snake. Then announce to him, the Lord, the God of the Hebrews, has sent me to tell you, let my people go so they can worship me in the wilderness. Until now, you have refused to listen to him. So this is what the Lord says. I will show you that I am the Lord. Look, I will strike the water of the Nile with this staff in my hand, and the river will turn to blood. The fish in it will die, and the river will stink. The Egyptians will not be able to drink any of the water from the Nile. Then the Lord said to Moses, tell Aaron, take your staff and raise your hand over the waters of Egypt, all its rivers, canals, ponds, and all the reservoirs. Turn all the water to blood. Everywhere in Egypt, the water will turn to blood, even the water stored in wooden bowls and stone pots. So Moses and Aaron did just as the Lord commanded them. As Pharaoh and all of his officials watched, Aaron raised his staff and struck the water of the Nile. Suddenly, the whole river turned to blood. The fish in the river died, and the water became so foul that the Egyptians couldn't drink it. There was blood everywhere throughout the land of Egypt. But again, the magicians of Egypt used their magic, and they too turned water into blood. So Pharaoh's heart remained hard. He refused to listen to Moses and Aaron, just as the Lord had predicted. Pharaoh returned to his place and put the whole thing out of his mind. Then all the Egyptians dug along the riverbank to find drinking water, for they couldn't drink the water from the Nile. 7 days passed from the time the Lord struck the Nile. Yeah, so is this basically them? I think maybe Pharaoh's trying to disprove their like parlor tricks and stuff like that. He's trying to prove that it's an actual sign from God. Like he doesn't have like pure faith. He's more like, okay, I need to like believe something. He has his own magicians, his own version of scientists back then in the day, his own like group of people. And basically I think maybe he had his team of like quote unquote experts who, I mean, when I say experts, we used to have experts that used to leech people to get the demons out and get toxins out. So, I mean, I don't know how much, like compared to nowadays, not really experts, but like the experts of the time, I think he had his whole core of magicians. And so when he had other people claiming to be prophets and stuff like that, I think it could have been maybe not like super prominent, but when people were saying like, oh, claiming to be God or claiming to do stuff. I mean, back then, I don't think there was as much technology or distractions, so I think people were socializing a lot more, and there would have been a lot more probability of people thinking that they could have been, I don't know, Messiah or whatever word they happen to use for it at the time. But I think what Pharaoh could have been doing, again, could be totally wrong, but again, I wasn't there. I don't know. I'm just reading this stuff. But I'm thinking he had his court of quote unquote experts. These people claiming that this powerful God was going to wipe him out, and Pharaoh being like, you know what, I got a pretty good thing going. I got all these slaves. I don't want to let you go. That's going to cost me a lot of money. And one, I want my stuff. And then two, I got to be able to help my people. And so letting y'all go, that's going to be very, very costly in Pharaoh's eyes. So I'm going to try to disprove your claims by using my magicians. We can both do the same things. I had him turn a staff into a serpent. I had him turn the water into blood. And Pharaoh's basically like, all right, well, it's nothing that I can't do myself too. So what else you got? And then that's where God is about to come in real hard with a bunch more plagues. And that's what we're going to read about next. Next up is the plague of frogs. So many plagues. Yeah, you don't. Pharaoh didn't want to listen, which is, I wouldn't say, if I'm right about like my interpretation of it, is where he was just basically trying to get like more evidence. He'd been like, "Are you sure? Like you say God, like you're backed up by God, and God's gonna do all this stuff, and then you let your people go." But at the same time, I'm like, is that like a legitimate threat? And I think Pharaoh was basically just trying to like get some evidence to be like, okay, how credible is this thing? And in the meantime, Moses and Aaron are getting upset. God's getting upset. The Israelites are suffering, and a lot of times passing by where a lot of people are suffering, and Pharaoh's just kind of just like pitter pattering, trying to, is that the right word? I don't know. Basically meandering, filibustering, and trying to figure out what to do next. Maybe. But we're about to get some plagues, so things are about to get real heated in Egypt. It's already hot. All right. Uh, Go ahead. Pause. Coming back on Exodus 8. All right, I'll see you guys in a little bit. Just gotta make some calls 1 second.